Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Tasmania's Human Services Minister has faced a gruelling day of questions over the Ashley Youth Detention Centre. Roger Yench says he doesn't know how many children become homeless after being released into the community. Historical abuse allegations also resurfaced during the heated hearing at Parliament.
Facing the firing line once again.
Minister, there is clearly something rotten at Ashley and the way it's being managed.
Roger Yench barraged with questions over his knowledge of alleged historical abuse at the Ashley Youth Detention Centre. The Greens arguing his department took too long to stand down an employee at the site before Labor demanded to know
how many young people exit Ashley Youth Detention Centre into homelessness.
They are free to go. We work with them.
Asked again,
how many young people, Minister, I ask again, exit Ashley Youth Detention Centre into homelessness?
I don't think I have a number that does what you're trying to do.
And again,
how many children exiting Ashley Youth Detention Centre in the last year exited into homelessness?
The Minister insisting there are arrangements made for exiting children. Labor says there must be data on those programs.
And you should be able to say precisely how many exited into homelessness. I am surprised you can't.
Cassie O'Connor claims after-hours courts are sending children to Ashley too easily.
But the decisions about where to send these young people are made not by a magistrate at the night court, but by a police prosecutor and a justice of the peace.
With eyes on the centre like never before, the Minister is standing by it.
Kids at Ashley are safe. It's a safe environment.
That's a big call.
To be safe.
Big call.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Many Tasmanian landlords are seething and say they feel blindsided by the government's decision to extend the eviction moratorium for tenants until January. Some say they've been left tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket, with fears this latest move could make the cutthroat rental market even worse.
A common reaction to the extension of the eviction moratorium.
Definitely a huge shock. A complete and utter shock.
I'm disgusted and shocked, to be honest.
But landlord Bradley Goldsmith says the rooter shock came in his bank account.
Just myself, I'm owed in damages and back rent over $10,000.
He's been forced to pull 2 properties from the market, all because he claims some tenants are using the emergency pandemic measures to dodge rent payments and eviction.
It's frustrating, and it's something that I don't think I'm going to recover.
Rental arrears around the $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 mark is common.
Out-of-pocket homeowners can receive up to $4,000 from the state government under the eviction moratorium yesterday extended until January 31.
It provides a great deal of reassurance to tenants to know that they're not going to be evicted over the Christmas New Year period.
Though others have been more critical.
This isn't landlords versus tenants. This is landlords unhappy, very unhappy with the government's management of this situation.
The Tasmanian Real Estate Institute says it feels deceived, claiming the government indicated the protections would end at the start of December. Now it says landlords are spooked, selling up, and that could make the tough rental market even harder to crack.
Rents are going to not only increase, but they'll increase at a rapid rate because of lack of supply.
The state government says this decision is purely economical, admitting it did only inform the industry hours before the information was released, but had no obligation to do so. The Tenants' Union is happy for the eviction safeguard not to be extended for a 5th time early next year, pending a vaccine and no further outbreaks.
Then we will be the first to be telling the government that the moratorium does need to continue.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Aboriginal Affairs Minister Roger Yench says heritage sites won't be harmed by 2 ongoing construction projects. Concerns have been raised about Bellerive Aged Care Development Worksworth and its impact on the area's Indigenous heritage. He's faced questions over roadworks near a burial ground at Eaglehawk Neck.
Approaching Aboriginal heritage is something special in Tasmania that we treat with respect and through due process.
The government is seeking advice on the burial site with claims up to 80 bodies could be buried there. Investigations are continuing into 2 deliberately lit vegetation fires, which came within metres of Gagebrook homes last night. Police were called to the scene on Lawrence Place around 11 p.m, with witnesses claiming to have seen 4 youths in the area, one with a lighter. Police also received reports of an attempt to light another fire at a nearby toilet block. While the blazes were quickly extinguished, authorities say they had potential to cause injuries or damage to properties. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Well, it has been a day of nerves, anxiety and relief for thousands of university students who received their final results for the year. It comes after some of the hardest semesters for pupils and teachers having to adapt to drastic COVID-19 changes.
Waiting anxiously by their computers. The afternoon rolling by, still no final results available for these UTAS students, eager to see their marks after a tumultuous year.
I'm nervous, but the relief will be great. It's one thing sort of finishing your final assignment, but getting your results is sort of a full weight off your shoulders.
Hopefully we can see results that show the amount of work we've put in. We'll find out soon.
Students making the move to online study after COVID-19 forced university campuses to shut, creating a tough learning environment for many, now feeling relieved the disruptive year is over.
I think the university's recognised that it's been a bit of a strange year, but yeah, certainly you still get stories of students struggling to study and make ends meet.
It's definitely been difficult. I'm proud of myself how I've been able to get through it.
The turbulent changes also taking a toll on teaching staff.
The big challenge really is for those staff who have had any face-to-face element in their teaching to adapt that at very short notice, week by week really, across the semesters for online-only delivery.
Saying first-year students bore the brunt of the challenges.
I think that would have added a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety to what is already a stressful and anxious year.
Plans on how teachers will tackle next year already on the table.
They're going through a lot of different stages of restructure and reordering of classwork, etc., looking at different avenues and how they can deliver face-to-face learning.
But for some students, a break from the books is needed.
I'm thinking of doing a PhD. I don't think right now I need a break for a bit.
Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
A number of new roads in the Meander Valley are set to help pave the way to a more sustainable future. A new tyre and glass bottle mix is now being used, but the cost didn't come cheap due to a lack of manufacturing facilities in the state.
Laying the foundation for greener roads.
We've always had pressure from our ratepayers and the general public that we need to do something better with our recycling.
91,000 bottles and 393 tyres making up the bulk of this 500-tonne mix that's being used in Meander Valley's rollout of new recycled roads.
By using the glass as a replacement for sand, by using the tyres as a base product, this is a start of hopefully more uses for our recycling.
It's much the same as any other asphalt road. The magic happens in the asphalt plant with the blending of the binder and also the crushing of the glass.
Turning these crumbs of rubber and shards of glass into an entire road is 15% more expensive than the regular process. However, this pilot project is being subsidised by the Tyre Stewardship of Australia. All tyres currently need to be shipped to Melbourne for shredding. If the appetite's there for more roads like these in Tasmania, the facilities could be started here and the cost lowered.
We're hoping that with the trial that we're doing here today, that this will be progressing across the Meander Valley and also across other councils, and also the state government's interested in using this on state roads.
And why shouldn't they be?
It's a great way of using traditionally materials that have been sent to landfill, tyres and glass bottles.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, those looking for festive songs to add to their holiday playlist can look closer to home this year. Local label Jam Mountain Music has released a Christmas single set to bring joy and raise important funds.
It's a time for coming together, and performers from Tasmania's Jam Mountain Music have joined forces to write their own Christmas anthem.
Let us shine again this Christmas.
And some local songwriters got together and wrote what we feel is going to be a hit and a great feel-good song this Christmas.
The funds raised from Light a Candle set to go to Act for Kids, who work with children affected by abuse and neglect.
They're they're an intervention charity, and they're really looking after the children around Australia that are suffering most what's been a really difficult year.
They're very, very talented people, and they were looking for a cause that was close to their heart in the lead up to Christmas. And what better way to give back to community than to support vulnerable children during Christmas?
The track already has some fans at Act for Kids.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's really, really catchy.
Let us shine again this Christmas. Let us hold each other near.
One final appeal from the team behind the music.
Go out, buy the record. We'd love to have a Christmas #1 coming out of Launceston would be absolutely amazing.
The track can be pre-ordered on Jam Mountain Music's website or from Launceston's Avenue Records. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, with a new kitten high on the wish list for many this Christmas, 10 Lives Cat Centre is reminding buyers to take precautions when finding their new pet. Families are being urged to purchase their feline friend from a reputable source and have cats checked with their normal health checks, be desexed, microchipped and vaccinated.
We encourage people to come in and spend time with the cats and kittens, talk to our staff, don't make a rushed decision.
Last week alone, 60 kittens arrived at the Newtown Centre in just 3 days, now waiting to find new homes. It's exactly a month until Christmas, and some musical earls are preparing for a festive extravaganza in Hobart. The grassy banks at the Botanical Gardens set to be filled, with the community invited to a night spent listening to carols. A number of local musicians will take part in the December 19 celebration, a welcome end to a turbulent year.
It's been a ridiculously mad year for everyone, but more so, I guess, for those of us in the arts. So you can pretty much expect a little bit of normality for what you'd normally find at this end of the year.
It'd be really great to get back on stage, just in front of friends and family, and just perform and just get out there and just enjoy the last bit of this really hard year.
You can sign up at the Botanical Gardens to score 4 free tickets from now until December 6. The big band Carols by Candlelight will also be live streamed.
Launceston's Cade Kolajasny has retired from AFL following the ongoing effects of concussion. The 25-year-old has struggled with the symptoms of concussion, especially in the past 4 seasons. Kolajasny was selected at pick number 5 by the Gold Coast before being traded to the Demons in 2019. He played 80 games for the 2 clubs.
Good evening. 31 was the state's top today in Hobart, Launceston 20, 18 across Burnie and Devonport. Flinders Island a high of 20, 18 about Strahan and Lowhead, and Grove 28. On the close-up, low-level cloud covers most of the north and west of the state. Further out, cloud associated with thunderstorms covers most of northern Queensland and WA. Tomorrow shows a trough across Tasmania in the morning, followed by a high pressure system in the evening. West to southwesterly winds tomorrow, 15 to 25 knots, swells up to 6 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A gale warning is current for southern coastal waters for westerly winds, and a strong wind warning for the Channel and remaining northern, eastern and western coastal waters from Stanley to Sandy Cape. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart 20, partly cloudy and 19 across Cygnet and New Norfolk. In the north, Launceston 24, sunny in Devonport, Campbelltown 21. Burnie and Smithton tomorrow 19, Strahan Possible morning showers. Partly cloudy and 21 across at Helens and Swansea, and Fingal 22. The UV forecast is very high across the state, with the sun setting at 8:24 p.m. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast: Friday, light showers about the north, fine elsewhere. Saturday, showers about the north and west. And Sunday, showers easing to the west and north-east in the afternoon. Capital cities 27 and sunny in Perth tomorrow. Cloud clearing in Brisbane, and Melbourne becoming sunny with a high of 20. And currently Hobart 24 and partly cloudy, Launceston 17 and Devonport 17 and partly cloudy. That's all for weather tonight, Kim.
Thank you very much, Jackie, and that is your news for now. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Good night.